Good morning, traders. So, still using the Bull-Williams theory and looking at the Aussie, the South African top 40. Now, we had a pin bar kind of off a level. I say kind of off a level because it missed that level there and it kind of flirted with this inside bar, but it has broken above it. And often when price does extend tail beyond this level, I always proceed with caution. So you can see we had this massive gap down and immediately rallied up to close the daily gap. Or I don't know if we did close it, we'll look now, but at least attempt to close it. So that shooting star is no longer a shooting star, and that pin bar is also, I mean, it's a wise man number one. It kind of played out, but you wouldn't have had a chance to get into that. I'm still sort of in confusion mode with this thing. It does look like we're forming a rounding bottom, or formed a rounding bottom here on the daily, and it could also be seen as a double bottom as well, but that double bottom target would then be, well, sorry, not target, but neckline would be up here. Okay, so if we start drilling down to see if there's anything we can do, you can see it is so confusing to try and get this right. You've got gap up, gap down. This little area here does confuse me a little bit. Okay, so sorry, this gap is still open. But these tails here, there were still sellers stepping in, and the sellers were stepping in pretty much not quite off there, not quite off this fractional level, but more off this inside bar. And that makes sense with the gaps because that's normally what happens. So that's the first level where people try to drive it down. And then if that goes, then your target is the gap. So it does make a little bit sense. We kind of hanging in the middle of nowhere here. This was, you could see this was kind of a long entry down the bottom, but not that I was playing this. It was too volatile for my likings. And what we have on the hour is we've had a move down, and then we've got I don't know, it could be a flat top or it could be a wedge. So what I mean by that is you've got a trend line there, and then you've got this top here, or alternatively, sorry, not a wedge, but a triangle. Okay, so I think the bottom line of this is the break either side is going to drive price. Now, my big concern here is on the hour, look at the grouping of the oscillators here, group to the upside underneath the zero. So in other words, we're underneath the alligator, even though the alligator has points to the upside. So that is indicating that we're going to get a potential break to the upside of this triangle. Now, I just want to look at the things that are going to affect us today. Rand dollar 13.76, pretty flat this morning, and 10 cent, lo and behold, up 2%. So down 3% yesterday, up 2% today. So just looking into that, you're probably going to get a gap up. So we're going to get a break of this triangle to the upside. And I would almost be willing to bet that the target is going to be this previous high. So that's my targets from the break. And look at that. So that's my target area, previous high. Okay. So I think the move for today is more than likely going to be a gap up, and we're going to head into this zone up here. Now, the US markets, the Dow in particular, has managed to get through its 4-hour 200 EMA eventually and close above it. So, and the other markets did that last week already. So we could be seeing sort of price holding up these levels, consolidating a little bit, just so that our oscillators sort of come back into a neutral area or even an oversold area before rallying again. Okay, so first target here is to the upside of 48,133. Okay, and just one other thing here, and I just want to get my levels drawn in here. Okay, so we do have a megaphone, and I'm seeing a lot of megaphones on the Aussie, but point about the megaphone is here's my previous swing low. That was my rally into this area. Then we've consolidated over 2 days. A break above that. So I'll get a line in here, and then we'll just have a look at where that's going. The previous high. So I would just adjust that. Nope, that's correct. Okay. So you can probably adjust it slightly down to this pin bar here. Okay. So that's kind of the potential long-term view here. And this target area to the upside is 49,178. But you're going to have to be pretty brave to keep trades in on this asset overnight, because these gaps down are massive. So if you get in too late on the trade and you try hold it overnight, you're going to get back with, wake up the next morning with a gap that's going to scare the living daylights out of you. So not something that I want to trade from a long-term perspective at the moment. So intraday is fine. But, look at yesterday. You had this move to the downside, then a massive rally, and then just sideways for the whole day. A little blip up to the top, and then a sell-off. So I think one way that I will play this is if we do get a break up today, that would be worth chasing along, at least watching for the gap close. But then I would expect some kind of a pullback. If we can get a pullback to come and test this breakout, which would line up with the alligator on the half hour, okay, that is what I would look for. And that would be my next entry long, because it would be a nice entry long here with a fairly tight stop. And to let that thing, and then hopefully let it run up to the next level. Okay, so that's kind of my view on this for now, is definitely looking for this gap to close. I'll pick it up off a lower time frame here. There it is there. So definitely looking for the gap close at 47. I think that's 47,856. 47,856. And following that, I just want to see if there's a monthly level up here. Let's get rid of the noise. So we do have the alligator test coming up. More than likely somewhere around there, which is 48,396. I just want to come back to 4 hour. Sorry guys, give me 1 sec. I just spotted something here which I just want to see if it lines up. That's good enough. No, okay. So that doesn't line up. So this level here is a monthly level. There's 48,396 is a monthly level. It also lines up with my inside tails over here. So there's my inside tail there. And we haven't hit that tail yet. So those are my two targets for today and tomorrow, I think. So first one is going to be gap close. Okay. 47,846. And second target is going to be 48,396, purely because it is a monthly level. And then I would expect some kind of a pullback. Even if we get a pullback in this area off the gap close to come back and test the alligator closes today's gap, that would be an area long for me to target the next level, which would be 48,396. So for now, trend is up. Trade with the trend. It is a bit of a mixed bag, but still rather be safer than sorry. And there's nothing really indicating that we have a potential turn coming. So this was an indication, this green bar has kind of mitigated in my eyes at the moment. Okay, so unless we sort of close the gap and sell quite sharply off, I think I'm looking for longs. Anyway, guys, that's it for me today on Aussie. Hope that helps. And keep those stops tight, and I'll catch up with you later. Cheers for now.